Automobile-centric American cities need intervention. The U.S. has developed automobile-dependent cities. The local governments spend their transportation funding mainly to build highways rather than a public transportation system. The strategy is based on the assumptions that the gas price stays low and the economy grows steady. However, the level of economic development of the United States is deemed to reach its peak. Now, the car-centric cities is not socially equitable nor economically environmentally sustainable. Campbell and Feinstein acknowledged that planning intends to transform the existing courses of events by intervention. Planners should intervene and redesign the transportation and urban form of the U.S. First, a car-centric city is not sustainable economically and environmentally. Driving generates many external costs such as congestion, air pollution, accidents, road facility improvements, and greenhouse gas emissions. The externalities of driving causes inefficiency, which makes people drive even more. The local governments are responsible for maintaining the past hodgepodge highway developments, and driving is one of the major sources of greenhouse gas emissions, which are known to accelerate the global climate change, which causes the catastrophic natural disasters. Second, the current suburbanization pattern is not socially equitable. In recent years, suburban poverty is identified as a new form of poverty in American cities. The government barely developed alternative transportation modes, believing automobile-dependent lifestyle is benign. As a result, the infrastructures for rail, bus, rapid transit, bicycling, and walking are very scarce in U.S. cities. As a result, low-income households are forced to own a car as a necessity. Owning and driving a car is much more expensive than riding a public transit. As a result, those who cannot afford cars are doomed to suffer in a vicious circle. Some people might argue that the current urban form is a result of people's inherent preference to enjoy driving and to live in clean and quiet suburban neighborhoods. However, suburbanization is firsthand the result of utopian planners' strategy to deal with negative externalities of inner cities at that time. And suburban low-income households do not have a choice to move back to the inner city due to the lack of affordable housing stock. The city of Chicago exhibits the similar transportation problem. The south and west of the city of Chicago are disconnected from various types of opportunities, such as the access to jobs, food, education, and medical services. High unemployment rate in the area is deeply related to the lack of public transportation options other than driving. Clear socioeconomic disparities prove the areas have been underserved for transportation investments. The state and local governments should intervene and provide a solution for the marginalized population. For these reasons, planners should interrupt the current suburbanized urban development patterns and provide public transportation options to raise equity. Of course, it is hard to alter the pattern of physical development. The obstacles for the planning intervention are not only physical but also mental when we consider the ingrained perception of people. As planners established the vision of garden cities, now we should provide the prescription for the ill autocentric cities. In this sense, more than regulations, Education could be a good method of intervention as well. Well-designed public participation and authentic community engagement will give in-depth description of a city, and transportation planning that leverage social equity and sustainability will be able to make a better city.